My name is Jay Karchi. I'm the community manager at Bandai Namco Entertainment.
So Jay, what have you learned from Blood-Borne that you're applying to Dark Souls 3?
Well, From Software's come a long way. They made a lot of games, and Dark Souls 3 is kind of the culmination of all their learnings from all the previous Dark Souls games. The interconnected level design, the battle arts, there's so many different items that are coming all together in this Dark Souls game.
You guys are known for your iconic music in the series, and in Dark Souls 3 you guys have quite a list of composers that have been tasked to giving Dark Souls music.
The music in Dark Souls is super important to From Software and to us. It helps set the mood. It's become very iconic over all their games. So From Software is super particular and super excited about all the different composers that are on board.
You talk about the PC version. Will it be capped at 30 or 60 frames per second, or will it be fully open to whoever powerful the rig is?
We'll be revealing our PC specs very soon. What I can say is that From Software's, been building PCs game for a couple years now, and they're very excited to, we want to give the fans what they want. So we're pretty excited to reveal our specs.
So in Dark Souls 3, what are some of the major changes from Dark Souls 2?
The biggest obvious change is the battle arts. Every single specific weapon has an art or a skill that's attached to it. So with the long sword, you can hold it in a special stance to do a couple different attacks. With the bow, you can attack from rolling. There's certain bows that let you fire more than one arrow. There's a lot of different things that exist. It's another layer of complexity on top of every single weapon.
So can you talk about the humanity changes you've made from Dark Souls 2 to Dark Souls 3?
After you defeat a boss in Dark Souls 3, you will see an ember restored image, and you can use embers in the game to gain health and to be you'll see flames coming out of your character. And we don't want to talk about specifically what that means yet, because it's very related to the Dark Souls 3 story, but it's just something to look forward to.
In Dark Souls 2, when you died, you were punished with a permanent loss of health or temporary loss of health. Is it the same system in place for Dark Souls 3?
We don't want to comment on that just yet. We think the Dark Souls games, we like to think that they very much respect the players. It's challenging, but also it's an accomplishable task for anybody who puts in the time. All the people that grew up with video games all these years, they're looking forward to a challenge, something that they can kind of understand and learn and defeat after learning all the mechanics. So, yeah.
Can you talk about some of the new classes in the game and how each class has unique gameplay style?
Similar to Dark Souls 1 and 2, there's different classes that you can start the game with. Those are starting builds, and in kind of whether it's the thief or the warrior, it gives you a starting place for your character. Regardless of how you develop your character throughout your entire playthrough, it's just a start for you to use.
So what has next-gen consoles opened up for Dark Souls 3?
You'll be able to see the graphical fidelity, whether it's the flames coming out from your ember restored character or the boss animations. There's more memory there, there's more RAM there. It's just a lot more room for graphical fidelity.
I keep hearing, while I'm playing in the other room, I keep hearing a lot of chit chat about, oh, that's like Blood-Borne. Oh, they do that in Blood-Borne. Oh, it's just like in Blood-Borne. So, how much did you take from Blood-Borne to apply to the Dark Souls series?
From Software develops all these games, and every single game, they take community feedback, they take player feedback, they take critic feedback, and put those into their newer games. So that's pretty much it.
Talk about the statue behind you. How is it commissioned? How is it made? Do you know anything about that?
We have did something similar for Dark Souls 2. We kind of take the iconic character that we're pushing for the game, and we want to make these life-size statues because we think they're very iconic and they're very high detailed, and we want to kind of give people something to rally behind around the new game.
Can you give us an example of community feedback and how you implement it into your game to make changes?
Sure. A lot of, whether it's playing Dark Souls 1 or 2, a lot of the things, the messages that we receive are about maybe it's PvP in the game, one spell is too strong or too weak, and From Software does a really great job of taking that feedback and implementing them into, patches, updates, gameplay changes kind of post-launch because they understand that players want to play this game for a long time, and they want to support them.
When does Dark Souls 3 come out, and what platforms will it be on?
In the US, it is April 12th, and it is Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC Steam.